Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I'm headed to the gas station. Got a new worker I'm trying out, and got a lot to do. So it's wet, but I got a lot of bush jobs to do today. Really hoping this new worker, works out good for sure. And we'll talk about that here in a second. I'm gonna do 2 clips today. The first one I'm mainly talking about, the worker and why I feel like I need to go ahead and find somebody now, even though I don't really need the help necessarily, as opposed to waiting to maybe March or early April. But yeah, before I let you know, before I talk about that, I'll let you know what I got going on. So yeah, y'all, I'm pretty close to closing on some land. And we were actually close yesterday afternoon to agreeing to terms. If there's one thing that gotta get ironed out in terms of who pays for the surveyor, which I probably will end up having to pay for it because they're not budging on the price. I try to get them obviously as low as possible. And this is, by the way, this is the land I looked at back in the summer and a couple falls ago that I've mentioned in other videos. I decided to come back to it, and I'll discuss why in the second clip. We'll talk more about the land in the second clip. I'm really excited about that, y'all. It's really, really emotional about it yesterday when I found out they were good to subdivide this piece of property that I want, as opposed to, just you're trying to sell the entire piece that they're trying to sell now. So yeah, if that makes sense. But yeah, y'all, we'll talk about that in the second clip. I'm not gonna do any kind of footage today. Just letting you know what I got going on. Some exciting stuff for sure, and especially the land deal. It's a big deal, big purchase and that kind of thing. But yeah, hey, listen, employee talk. So I got the new employee, DeAndre, I believe is his name. Seemed like a really nice guy. We've talked on the phone quite a few times. He reached out last week, or actually I reached out to him. My buddy Corey gave me his number, someone that was looking for a job. And he's got experience. He's from Mobile, and him and his fiance, I think they've got a young child. They moved up recently, so obviously he's looking for a job. So that's good. He's got experience. He says he's worked, I think he said he worked there for 6 years in Mobile at a lawn care business. So that's good. But like I told him, and like I told y'all before, I gotta see it before I believe it. He's promised me he can do all these different things and knows how to do stuff. But you just never know till you see someone in action, right? Now, I don't like the idea of training somebody. I've said that before. You just never know. In my experience, you never know how long it's going to take for somebody to finally get it. And I would just rather go with somebody that at least has some experience and some idea of what they're doing. It's just easier that way for me. But yeah, the more the better. And like I said, once I see him in action, I'll be able to tell, even though we won't be doing a lot of mowing today. It's obviously won't be doing any mowing today. We're mainly doing a lot of bush trimming. He says he can trim bushes and obviously clean up. I'll still get an idea of what kind of worker he is and that kind of thing. So that's good. But yeah, I really want to see him, obviously, see how he edges. He says obviously he has no problem stick edging. He prefers the stick edge over, taking the weed eater and flip edging. Which is actually, when he mentioned that, that was kind of a good sign to me that he mentioned that he's seen other people obviously flip edge the weed eater. And that's what I told him. Honestly, I was like, yeah, man, honestly, I prefer to edge with a stick edge, especially if it's a lot of edging, because to me, it's going to look better. You, way less risk in terms of it being straight. I feel like you just get a better edge, using the stick edge. Less things can go wrong. Turn you maybe slinging a rock with a weed eater if you do it that way. But anyway, so that was a good thing. That was a good sign to me when he mentioned that, and we talked about that for a little while. But again, I just got to see him in action. That's what I told him. You got to worry about me paying you good. I don't care what you look like, what race you are. It doesn't matter. I just need somebody that knows what they're doing. Is going to show up to work, that semi enjoys what they're doing, and I can depend on. So that's really what I'm looking for in an employee. And my thinking is, I know a lot of people don't want to hire somebody right now, because obviously we're not super busy and you're trying to save money. I think that's that's not a good plan. I mean, even though I could save myself a little money by not hiring somebody right now and just going with me and Justin the next couple months until maybe April. But I also run the risk of not being able to find someone. So my thinking is, if he happens to work out, that's a big benefit to me. And I have enough work, and I can find enough work, to keep him busy and keep us busy, and keep money coming in and keep him paid, and so on and so forth. So that's my thinking. I'd rather go ahead and take a chance on the guy now in hopes that he's good, and having having that third guy, because I need, it's me and Justin. I need another guy full time for sure, and then maybe a college guy that can help part time, or a high school kid that can help a few days a week when we do 2 trucks, because obviously I can't carry more than 2 guys in the truck if we're just doing 1 truck. But if we're doing 2, obviously I can use another guy, if we're doing 2 trucks on the road. So, either way, I need a third guy, for sure. So I'm hoping it works out. That way I'll go ahead and, have somebody in the fold, so to speak, and not have to worry about finding someone later on in March or April. And then, man, go ahead and start training them. He can go ahead and get familiar with some of my properties that I do. So there are definitely benefits. I feel like if you're going to wait because you're trying to save money, you're running a risk, right? Especially if you're in my case and you got so many properties and you just know that you need, another guy for sure. And that'll keep me from having to, do one of these websites. I've looked into ZipRecruiter, mentioned it before, and I'm not opposed to using that, but if this guy works out, I don't have to worry about that. So that's good. So that's really my thinking in terms of why I'm going ahead and trying to find somebody now, as opposed to waiting to maybe later in March or April when things really pick up. So curious what you guys think, y'all. Y'all let me know what you're doing. I mean, I'm curious if you're waiting or if you're going ahead and trying to find somebody. If you need a guy, if you're going to go ahead and maybe try to find somebody now, especially if he's good. And that's what I'm hoping. I'm banking on the fact that he's going to be good. And that'll be huge if he is. It should be one less thing I have to worry about. We'll see how it goes. I'll let you know in the next clip how it goes. And we'll mainly talk about the land, guys. Again, I'm really excited about it. I should find out this morning once my realtor, he already let him know, the other realtor know yesterday, that I was hoping to get them to pay for the surveyor to be able to survey this piece of land, because like I said, it's not the entire property that they're wanting to sell. It's just a piece of it, the most valuable piece to me, and it's 4.5 acres, so it's a really good tract of land. I will have to clear it, but we'll talk more about the land. I'll let you know if I get good news today and we close on the deal, and we'll go from there, guys. Hey, hope you're doing well. God bless you. Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. It's finished up. It's 4 o'clock. Before I give you the good news in terms of the land, I'll let you know about Derek. I think I said his name was DeAndre in the intro. It's actually Derek. Really good job. Solid overall for sure. So I was definitely overall pretty impressed with him, for sure. Now, let me say this. And this is something I struggle with, guys, especially when I first started hiring employees, and even after, this feeling that I had about guys working for me, tend to exist, for a while now. Obviously, over the years, I've realized, to tone down my expectations, if that makes sense, when it comes to guys working for you. So I'll make a couple points about guys. I know you guys have been doing this a long time. I already know this. But it's important for people, I'm really talking to myself to an extent, but for people that are just now, looking into hiring employees, or maybe you struggle with this, even having a lot of experience and having hired employees before, a couple points. Number one, never expect an employee to care as much, about your business as you do, okay? Never expect that, okay? They're just not. And I think that's pretty much, I guess you call it common sense, or just, that should be human nature. I think it's the word for it. I guess that'd be the word for it. or words for it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much human nature in terms of not expecting guys to work for you to care as much as you do. Okay, so point number one, that's point number one. Number two, you know, you can't expect guys that are working for you to do as good a job as you do. Okay, that's something that really took me a while to get through my head, and to as far as lower my expectations in terms of the quality of the work. Guys working for you are just never going to do, typically, at least I would hope not, and this should be expected. They're not going to do as good a job as you do. So we were pretty much trimming bushes and doing crepe myrtles, and he did a solid job overall trimming bushes, but is he as good as I am? No, he's not. Okay, so that's point number two. Just kind of lower your expectations a little bit when it comes to employees, you know, caring and, you know, the quality of the work and being able to just do things like you can in terms of the work itself. Guys, they're just not going to be able to do what you can do. Okay, so yeah, just keep those things in mind. So yeah, overall I did a solid job, and definitely looking forward to seeing, you know, how he does the rest of the week. And I'll probably go ahead and, you know, plan on working them, you know, next week as well, you know, before I decide if I'm going to work them full time, guys. But yeah, I hope that's helpful to you. Just keep those things in mind. It's just my opinion when it comes to employees. So let's talk about the land, guys. So I got some really good news. I think I said that I expected the sellers not to pay for the survey, which is survey, and I didn't realize surveyors cost us much money. But the survey was going to cost anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 was a ballpark figure that I got from a company yesterday that my realtor got when he called around asking. So I really wasn't expecting it to cost that much, but there's other things than just going out there and just surveying the land. Now, this is land. This is a part of the land that they're trying to sell. They're trying to sell 28 acres. Well, the piece of the land that I'm buying, and we did agree to terms, is 4.5. So they're going to have to get it surveyed, obviously, because I'm just buying the 4.5, not buying, obviously, the whole 28 acres. So lucky for me, you know, they agreed to pay for it. They agreed to pay up to $2,500. So if it costs more than $2,500, I'll have to flip the bill for the rest of it, which I'm hoping it won't. But they'll pay up to $2,500, which I really didn't expect them to agree to. So that tells me that, you know, obviously they're motivated to maybe to sell that piece. They feel like they're getting a good deal. And I feel like I'm getting a good deal. So this is 4.5 acres. Just to give you an idea, that land that I looked at, that I did a video on, was 2.4, and they were wanting $300,000 for it. So yeah, I got it for 150. 150 was the amount that they wanted actually back in the summer that we ended up agreeing to. So when I started out, I put in an offer at 130, and sure enough, they were stuck at 150, which is fine. Because I feel like it really, honestly, for what I want to do with it, and we'll explain more about it in terms of what I'm going to do with it and my plans for it. And I'm not just planning on using all that acreage just for me. I'm planning on doing some investment property, rental property, other shops, storage type facilities, you know, that kind of thing on down the line, and some other potential money makers that we'll talk about in a separate video. But yeah, really excited about it. Like I said, in terms of the price, I feel like I got a really good price, especially for what I want to do. Now, it's kind of secluded, which is a good thing for what I want to do. There's not a lot of, you know, traffic that goes by it, which I don't care about. You know, I could care less about cars going by it. Actually, it's a good thing. The fact that it's secluded, it means that, you know, there's less people that know about it, and less potential for theft and that kind of thing, which was a big concern for the other property. And we'll talk more about that later, guys. I'm gonna do a separate video showing y'all the land itself and, you know, some other details I'm gonna mention in terms of what I'm gonna have to do with the property itself. But I'm really excited about it for sure. It's really just a load off my mind. I mean, I've been thinking about doing this for years now. because I feel like it's the next logical step for me in terms of the growth and develop my business. And just, man, having 4.5 acres to be able to potentially do other things with is a big deal. So yeah, really excited about it, really blessed, yeah, really thankful. You know, I'm not borrowing money. I'm using $150,000 that I have saved up, you know, to buy this property. So I'm not having to worry about buying or loaning any money from the bank or anything like that. I'm not going to debt, anything like that. I'll be an asset. And I really feel like it's worth a lot more than that, to be honest with you. So yeah, really excited about it. It's an asset for me now. It's not like I'm just blowing $150,000, you know, down the drain. You know, that kind of thing. So yeah, really looking forward to it, guys, for the future of it in terms of, you know, building a shop for me mainly is my main objective. But the other things I'll be able to do with it potentially, there's just a lot of potential in this property, business-wise and investment-wise, that I can take advantage of now that I got the property. It's just a load off my mind. It's actually, give you an idea of how far it is from my house, not far at all. Similar to the other properties, probably 2 or 3 miles from my house. So that's good, it's pretty close. And it's secluded. So one of my big concerns was the other property, like I mentioned, was the location. It was close to some Section 8 housing and theft. You know, I was kind of worried about that potentially. I don't feel like I got to worry about that as much now, given where it's at. And the fact there's no housing, it's pure commercial industrial land. It's not for residential, you know, development. So obviously I got quite a bit of research, and even though I've already did some research back in the summer when I was looking at it. So I've already done some research, and from what I gathered over the summer, you know, it's pretty much okay to do what I want to do with it, but I'm still going to reach out to the same people and get some more information, ask some more questions, all that kind of thing before, you know, I officially buy it, which I've got, you know, that due diligence period in the contract, 60-day due diligence period in the contract that I'll have to do a little more research and some other things associated with it, you know, in terms of things I got to do before I'm actually able to hand the money over. If that makes sense. So yeah, y'all really excited about it for sure. I mean, just kind of a load off my mind, so to speak, and it was the next logical thing for me in terms of the growth of my business, the development, and the fact that it's, you know, a lot of land, 4.5 acres. You know, there's a lot of potential for other things for me to do. I was just really excited, really blessed, for sure. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think. Looking forward to doing a video. I'll probably do a video maybe this week or this weekend showing the land and just kind of showing you the things I'll need to do with it. Obviously, I'm going to have to clear some land. I'm going to have to clear it off, a lot of it off. I've already got some numbers in terms of the clearing of it. And I'll just show you some of the plans that I have for it, you know, when I do that video. But yeah, overall, really good day today, guys. We got a lot of, you know, bush jobs done. Derek did a good job too, so I'm excited about him. We'll see how he does rest of the week and next week. And really pumped up about the land. So yeah, y'all, can't say enough about how I'm feeling right now. Really excited about the future, and really just feel an extra sense of motivation and excitement, given that I should have it unless something, you know, falls through or whatever. But right now it looks good. I just gotta, you know, do a little more research in terms of my due diligence, 60 days like I mentioned before, and we'll go from there. But hey, listen, I hope y'all are having a great week so far, guys. Get some work done. God bless you. Talk to you soon.